Okay, hello everyone. This is the Double Sparkles podcast.
Hello.
You say you're double and I'm Sparkles.
Well, I guess I'm double.
I'm Sparkles and this is the Double Sparkles podcast. Anyway, do you know what we're talking about today?
Your Arthur picture?
Want to tell them about that?
No, it has to come from the artist itself.
Okay, so basically, I was over at Jesus' house. That's double if you didn't know. Introducing ourselves. Anyway, I was over at Jesus' house and we were drawing. And he suggested a picture of... No, I was already drawing and he suggested a girl with an afro hairstyle. So I imagined her to be like 70s. So when I got home, I drew up a refined picture and colored her in. And I drew her with a yellow bell sleeve top and blue, like 70s, like flared pants, red shoes, and a headband. Not realizing at the time that it looks exactly like Arthur.
Yep, it's undeniable that it looks like Arthur.
I even gave her tan skin, so it looks even more like Arthur. But I don't know. Do you think I should change up her color scheme, or should I keep it as is?
Keep it as is. I love it.
But I don't want to get her confused with an aardvark. Okay. Also, just saying there might be a few interruptions because both my parents are home. And I'm filming in my room and they might interrupt. Anyway, do you know what we're talking about today?
I do not, but what is this picture right here?
That's another watercolor thing. I can take a picture and put it on screen if you like.
This looks like Marin.
What?
It's like Marin.
What is that?
Well, first of all, if you don't know, then it's accidental.
Yeah, it is accidental. Also, we have Chex Mix on the side, so I might take a few bites. Intermission while he looks for a picture.
No, we'll just continue on talking.
I kind of need you to hold the mic since I have some notes on the side. But, okay.
Hello.
Have you found the picture yet?
I'm typing with one hand.
Okay, I have it open to my notes. I can hold this. Okay. Oh yeah.
That's where it reminds me of when I first started.
Legend of Zelda, Marin.
Marin.
Okay. Enough about that. I can take a picture and show it to you. Anyway, what we're talking about today is... I've talked about it with you a little bit, but I want to talk about it like publicly. I want to talk about YouTube's new policy regarding what they like, what child's content is, and let me give you the rundown on everything.
Hello.
Okay, you want to hold that?
Yeah, I'll hold this for you.
Okay, so basically, what happened was the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, I forget, the FTC sued YouTube for $170 million, which is a little weird, it's a little wild. It's because YouTube violated rules by collecting data from children.
Which, let's be honest, that's a big no-no. You can exploit anybody you want, but leave children out of this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're not good data because they're random. It's not consistent.
Yeah, like, for layman's terms, like, you know how websites collect cookies, like, it's like...
Okay, to put it in a weird way.
Yeah.
Whenever you have an advertisement directed on a YouTube video, it's because people have a general idea of what they're looking at. If you are a gaming channel, you have video game related ads, things like that. But when it comes to children's programming, advertisements should not be put on them because you're exploiting children's thinking process. It's not as cut and dry as, yes, I'm a grown adult and I want to buy a video game. It's, I'm a child and I see a colorful red ball. I want it. It's a problem because they don't have the mentality to know what they're doing when they see these advertisements. They just see kids having fun and they want to have fun. Mm-hmm. You're exploiting a child's naiveness.
Yeah.
Is that the word?
I think so. I think this all started because of Ryan's toy review, because he did like a ad for Chuck E. Cheese or something, and he just like put in the corner like, this is an ad for Chuck E. Cheese, and like children aren't gonna know if that's an advertisement or not.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. You're advertising to someone who doesn't have the comprehension to understand what that advertisement is. They just see a person having fun. They don't see a advertisement.
Anyway, so what's happening is YouTube is creating these new rules to basically it's basically, I don't know. It's like, okay. So what's happening is
Breathe.
okay. Sorry, I get nervous. Okay, so what's happening is in YouTube's new rules, which is starting in January 2020, is what's going to happen is they're going to treat anyone watching children's content as a child.
Period.
So, yeah, period. So, like, if a child is on their parent's phone, if the parent's account says 30, they're gonna see that as a child.
Yeah.
Or like if you're 65 watching children's content for whatever reason, they're gonna see you as a child.
But let's be honest, that is not entirely bad. If you're watching children's advertisement, like unboxings and stuff like that, okay, again, strictly children's stuff. You know, if you're watching like Finger Family, you're not an adult. Let's be honest. Mm-hmm. You're not a grown up watching that. You're usually giving that to your little nephew or niece and letting them sit down and watch Little Finger Family. Now, I'm against Finger Family because of all the controversy and how annoying it is, but that's not my place to stand. I'm not a child. I'm an adult. So when it comes to it being recognized as a child, now if it's like permanent, if you're like, no matter how old you say you are on the channel, if you say you're 30 years old and it still counts you as a child, period, even though I mean permanently, not like it's temporary when your child watches it, it's like, oh, this is a child. Mm-hmm. But if you're like, if you let your cousin watch it who's a baby, and then you switch over to like extreme gaming channels and stuff like that, or you know, generally adult content, and they still consider you a child, then that's a problem. Because that prevents you from commenting, and it prevents a lot of other things that normally you'd be able to enjoy because it's counting you as a kid. And not that, first of all, YouTube has a policy of you have to be older than 13 to even be on YouTube. Yeah. Which brings into question, first of all, they should even have to have all this information for kids because, hell, you're not supposed to be on there anyways. I get it that nobody really enforces this.
Yeah, I think when I was like, I don't remember, like I think I was like 12 or 13 when I first started watching YouTube and I didn't have an account.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay, so it matters because there's content that's not made for kids on YouTube.
Obviously.
But what it does matter is if it doesn't take into account that you can quickly switch from one age group to another one at the whim of a typing on a keyboard, then you're not looking at the full picture. You're looking at half the jar, which doesn't really make sense, but I just want to go with that.
Okay, the next rule that they're going to do is personalized ads stop playing on kids' content, so no ads, which means less money.
To be fair, a lot of the kids' channels aren't entirely making the money.
It's my dog. Sorry.
Kids' channels aren't entirely making money off of advertisements per se. Mm-hmm. A lot of it is like
sponsor content or
no, not even that. They actually sell little toys at Walmart.
Oh yeah, I've seen the Ryan toy review.
Yeah, Ryan's World stuff is being sold at Walmart for a good price. It's like $8-9 for a surprise box or something like that. And I think this whole thing is because they're switching away from advertisements entirely anyways. Their way to avoid advertisement money is, hey, I'll sell my own stuff.
Yeah. Okay, the next one is comments and notifications are disabled.
That's for the best, let's be honest.
Are you sure? Because that's how the creator interacts with their audience.
On a child's content?
Okay, yeah, you have a point.
Yeah, unless you want some random gibberish on your page, it doesn't really matter what that kid says.
Okay, this next one. YouTubers need to identify the content if it's made for children. And this is the one that has everyone riled up and has me scared. Machine learning will help identify kids quote kids content.
Yes.
That one has me really scared.
Okay, so if anybody is new to the internet, they realize that the AI and systems throughout YouTube is just not reliable. Now, it's also not reasonable to think that there can be a person who stays up all day, every day, going through thousands and up to millions of new channels being brought up.
Yeah, and like every minute there's like 80 like a lot of minutes upload every minute there's like however many minutes uploaded to YouTube or uploaded to YouTube, you know?
Every day we have. Wait, I got this. Every day we have thousands of YouTube videos being posted. And it takes a lot to be able to go through that if you're an actual human, which is not bad. I mean, if you have 100 people going through these videos, then that's easier to put. Maybe just not some one YouTube guy, but generally having an actual group going through these videos and coming them like an actual person. Now, that sounds like a glamorous job, but after a while, you probably getting annoyed that you're looking at all these videos, anyways. But I feel like that's a better tactic than going, I'm going to let this robot go through all these videos and claim them, and if someone complains, we just fix it for them. That's not really good. That's like doing your job half-assed.
Yeah, and the main thing with the machine learning, from what I've heard, is that you can't appeal your video. Like if the machine like detects some kids' content, you can't appeal it and say, hey, this isn't kids' content.
Which that is a big no-no, because there's people who generally will take advantage of that, and there's people who will avoid it as much as they can. While the taking advantage of the part isn't probably the best idea because it's going to just make your life difficult, you might be able to find something out of it. But there's legitimately channels that act like fake kids channels that actually have disturbing things on it. I've seen some of those. I've went through a bunch of them while looking up all these twisted channels. Why I have is because I've watched YouTube videos about this, and I've actually checked it myself, and that's pretty much how things went. They act like kids channels, but the deeper you go into it, the more twisted it is, and they rely on the fact that parents don't know what their kid is watching, and
which parents should know what their kid is watching. It's not YouTube's job to do what a parent does.
Yeah, the whole my TV teaches my kids how to learn thing is not a good thing. I get it. It's not like you want to look at your kid all day, every day, because that's pretty stressful. You want to sleep sometimes. But that's not the best solution. If you want to rest and you want to have, make sure your child is being taken care of, get a nanny. Get a babysitter. You might be in the same house with them, but they're watching over your kid. It's a little bit better than like just having your child see all these horrifying things that they can never get rid of, all because you want to take a nap.
Mm-hmm. Okay, what I wanted to get to after the kids content. So kids content includes children or children's characters, popular children's programming or animated characters, play acting or storytelling using toys and children, and popular children's songs, stories, or poems.
Generally like the finger family thing, and like Ryan's World, where he will do toy reviews. A good example of how this is not a good system is Mike Mozart. If you don't know who he is a toy reviewer. He's not active as much as he should be anymore. In fact, he tried to do a comeback for 3 times, but he just hasn't found the time to do it. But he is a vintage toy reviewer. He's been in the toy biz for a very, very long time, and he's one of my favorite reviewers for this. So when it comes to his content, yes, it's not child friendly entirely because he's looking at some really old, messed up toys that the old times sold, like the little pop guns and toys that are controversial. It's like things like that are caught in the crossfire because they don't do the research and they don't understand that not everything that has a toy on it is made for kids.
That's okay. I'll talk more about that later. But another thing that I don't know what your opinion is about this, but the FTC will be able to sue channels targeted at children doing sponsored content. So they'll be able to sue channels.
What, Warner content?
What?
Warner content?
They'll be able to sue channels doing sponsored content.
Why? Oh, I mean, I don't understand. Why are you going after channels that... Look, kids are easy to manipulate. I get that. But you're still taking time out of your life to do a job. That's a job. Despite what you may think it's doing, it still counts as a job.
Yeah, and the FTC in an interview called YouTubers, quote, fish in a barrel, so they'll be easy to target and get them down.
Yeah, it's like a one-sided war. You're attacking someone who's trying to make a living because you don't like their ideas. You don't like the way they're going about it. It's not fair, and if someone went after your job like that, you would definitely be defensive as well. Okay, so on the end of that, were you going to continue on with something else?
Yes, the reason I wanted to talk about this is because that's it. Okay, I wrote it down on a piece of paper. I'm scared about this because my channel focuses around doll repaints. And what is a doll? A kid's toy. Like, whether you like it or not, I repaint kids' toys. But I don't identify myself as a children's content channel. My channel is art-based. But since that AI machine learning is gonna identify a kid's toy in my content, it's gonna take me down.
Yes, by default, her is going to run under the category of toys. Even though it has toys in it, it doesn't have that as a focus. It has the reconstruction of a toy to be its focus.
Yeah, like my channel just started. I only have 400 subscribers and it's already dead. Like, what's the point of going on if I know I'm going to get hit by this?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like a very fair outlook when it comes down to it. It seems like it was purposely targeted not towards the actual target, but at people who are caught in the crossfire.
Yeah.
Okay.
The thing about my content is doll repaints are, I don't want to say dangerous, but they're not meant for children. Like, I use toxic chemicals, I use power tools, I use dangerous things. Like, it's not meant for children. So it makes me mad.
This is not a pick up and do it yourself kind of thing. These are things that take a lot of concentration, a lot of time, and a lot of precautions. You can't just open a can of paint and spray it. You have to have the right equipment. You have to do all the health hazard things. If you don't do that, you're going to get yourself sick or worse. Mm-hmm. These are the major differences in this. This makes it from a typical, I made a doll out of plastic, from I bought a doll I bought a doll from Walmart. Let's look at it. It's a different thing.
Yeah.
Am I able? Can I continue with something else that's related?
Yeah.
Okay, so recently on YouTube there has been a big other controversy amongst this. The verifications. Apparently YouTube has decided that everybody who they deemed not worthy of a verification has been unverified.
Yeah, I was unverified, but that's understandable because I don't have very many people watching.
It's been happening to a YouTuber who has over 22,000 subscribers.
It's been happening to people with over 100,000, even over 1 million.
I don't actually know what is the criteria, but apparently
I think it said if the channel's over 100,000 subscribers and if you have people coming in or something like that. If you constantly have people coming in.
Which is a huge ass problem. Okay, let's be honest here. It's not like your channel is going to boom overnight. And it takes a long, long time to become verified if that's the case. I can see why, because you don't just want anybody to be verified. You want the people who are going to guarantee you a lot of money to be verified.
Mm-hmm.
But they're never going to get there if you're going to knock away their verification without notice.
Yeah, like one YouTuber I watch who I know got unverified, Katie Carson, Royalty Soaps. She said on Instagram that her channel got unverified. So it comes down to numbers and popularity.
Yeah, it's no longer is your content good. It's more of is your content selling. And that's a big problem for a lot of people, especially the ones who I watch who are game reviewers. For people who do reviews of video games, it's not like it's easy to become verified. Your verification means more than just, yeah, that's the person who does that game review. Verification tells sponsors and other game companies that this guy might be good for reviewing your game, and they will send them like keys to get the game early and test it out and review it, and by the time it comes out and released, you have these reviews ready to get going. These are really important because it saves the reviewer time and money. Because if you're a game reviewer and you're reviewing the game 3 weeks after the game comes out because you couldn't get a key ahead of time, you are being considered the one that are late to the party. It's not fair. It's not fair at all, and it's all because YouTube thinks that they're not worthy. This is something that they need to really look over before they start throwing it out. You can't just go, you are not verified because you have 2 uncles.
What?
I don't know. I'm making something up because that doesn't make sense, does it?
No.
It's something so arbitrary. You're telling me that I'm not verified because I don't have a certain amount of people watching me all the time. You're expecting these YouTubers to have a perfect record, and that's not going to happen.
That's another thing with the kids' content. Like, YouTube, how do I say this? Like, you remember when they start saying we're going to demonetize videos if they're not family friendly, excuse me.
Yeah.
So now they keep pushing family friendly, and now they're punishing you for being family friendly.
You know what? I didn't even see that connection, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And at that, who the heck is watching YouTube as a family? Because me and Rachel may watch YouTube together, but majority of YouTube I watch is away from her.
Yeah.
It's not because her content, her likes are different from my likes.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, she dips into my likes a lot. I have channels that I watch that she doesn't have interest in.
Yeah.
And I don't know why YouTube would think a platform that's made to watch solo should be family friendly when it's all dependent on the person it's dependent on each person, not every group.
Yeah, another comparison I saw was they're treating YouTube like YouTube Kids when YouTube Kids already exist.
Yeah, we have a separate application. Now, that would be like treating YouTube like YouTube Music or YouTube Gaming. You know, the things that died because no one used it because they used only YouTube. It's kind of the thing, YouTube. You're trying to separate all of these, or you're trying to combine the ones that are not needed, and it's going to backfire. It's going to backfire really hard, and people are going to start getting really annoyed and leaving YouTube. Where they're going to go, I don't know. Probably make their own web streaming websites. You started making these mistakes, and now these mistakes are going to catch up to you in a dramatic way, and what are you going to do? Be scared? Hope so.
To be fair, YouTube said they don't want to make these changes. The FTC is making them, so...
Look, as much as I would like to say I'm on the side of YouTube on that I'm not.
Yeah.
You were forcing yourself in this direction back when you started making these bad claims. You can't blame everything on someone else. These were happening before you got sued. These were things that were happening before these big decisions were coming down on you. It's It's the problem you made, and now everybody else is paying for it. Literally, they're paying for it.
Yeah. Okay. I kind of want to talk about one more thing, but I think, are we done here?
Yeah, we already hit the 25 mark. We should wrap that up.
Okay, I'll talk about what I want to talk about in the next episode. But thank you for listening. If you did, I want to hear your opinions on YouTube's new rules in the comments below if you want to share your opinion or whatever. So, yeah, that's it. I'm
Double.
I'm Sparkles. That was the Double Sparkles podcast. Thank you for listening.
Bazinga.
Bye.